Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Aurora Vale, there lived a gentle princess named Isabella. She was gifted with a magical power. Whenever she touched a flower, it bloomed brighter than the sun. The people adored her, for her gardens kept the kingdom beautiful and full of life. But in the dark mountains nearby, an envious sorceress named Morwenna hated Isabella's gift. She cast a curse over the land, turning all the flowers into stone. The once colorful kingdom became gray and lifeless. One evening, while Isabella wept in the garden, a mysterious young man appeared. He was Prince Elias from a faraway kingdom. He, too, had a secret gift. He could summon light from his hands, powerful enough to chase away shadows. "Don't lose hope, princess," Elias said kindly. "Together we can break this curse." The princess and prince set off on a magical quest. They traveled through whispering forests, across glowing rivers, and into caves sparkling with crystal light. Along the way, Isabella's kindness won the friendship of a talking owl and a playful unicorn who joined their journey. At last, they reached Morwenna's dark tower. The sorceress laughed wickedly. "You cannot defeat me. My magic is stronger than both of you." But Isabella held up a single enchanted rose, the only flower left alive in the kingdom. With her touch, it glowed with pure magic. Prince Elias raised his hands, filling the room with blinding light. Together, their powers merged light and nature, weaving into one brilliant force. "Goodness and hope are stronger than your darkness," Isabella cried. The spell shattered with a thunderous boom. The stone flowers across the kingdom burst back into life, painting Aurora Vale with brilliant colors. Habble habble have, Morwenna disappeared into shadows, never to return. From that day, Prince Elias and Princess Isabella ruled side by side. Their powers combined to protect the kingdom. Wherever they went, flowers bloomed and light shone, reminding everyone that love, kindness, and courage are the greatest magic of all. And so, they lived happily ever after.
Once upon a time, in the crystal kingdom of Aravel, there lived a kind-hearted princess named Alara. Her palace sparkled with glass towers and golden lights, and the people of her land adored her gentle nature. But even in all her beauty and grace, Alara often felt lonely. Every night, she dreamed of a golden bird that sang a song of friendship and love. She wondered if the bird was trying to tell her something, or if perhaps it was guiding her towards someone she had yet to meet. Far away, across mountains and rivers, lived Prince Adrian, a brave young prince with a heart as noble as his sword was strong. One stormy evening, Adrian was lost in the enchanted forest. His horse wandered off the path, and just as fear began to take hold, a familiar sound lifted the darkness, the sweet song of a golden bird. The bird fluttered its glowing wings, and Adrian followed it. Step by step, it led him through the twisting forest, across a silver bridge, and finally, to the gates of Aravel. In the moonlit garden of the palace, Princess Alara was walking among the roses when the golden bird landed upon her shoulder, and behind it stepped Prince Adrian. Their eyes met, filled with surprise and wonder. "You followed the golden bird too?" Alara asked softly. "Yes," Adrian replied, bowing respectfully. "It has been guiding me since I lost my way. I think it brought me here for a reason." They sat beneath the glowing trees, talking until the stars faded into dawn. They discovered that their dreams, their hopes, and their hearts were alike. Both longed for peace in their kingdoms, and both believed in kindness above all. But not everyone rejoiced in their meeting. In a shadowed tower, a jealous sorceress named Morwenna watched through her crystal orb. She had always desired Adrian's kingdom for herself, and the golden bird's magic was the one thing standing in her way. With a sweep of her cloak, she captured the bird in a cage of dark fire. The moment the bird was trapped, the skies dimmed, flowers in Aravel drooped, and even the rivers lost their shimmer. Princess Alara felt it at once. "The golden bird is in danger," she whispered. Adrian drew his sword. "Then together, we will save it." Their journey was long and full of trials. First, they crossed the river of mirrors, where the water showed not reflections but fears. Alara saw herself forever lonely, while Adrian saw himself failing his people. But they clasped hands tightly and whispered, "We are stronger together," and the river let them pass. Next, they climbed the mountain of storms, where roaring winds tried to pull them apart. Yet Adrian shielded Ilara with his cloak, and Ilara's song calmed the storm until the clouds parted. At last, they reached Morwenna's dark tower, its walls crawling with shadows. Inside, the sorceress laughed. "Love is weak compared to power," she hissed. "This bird's light is mine forever." But Ilara stepped forward bravely. "Love is the greatest power of all, and you cannot steal it." Adrian raised his shining sword, while Ilara lifted her crystal pendant. Together, they called upon the golden bird. From within the cage, the bird's song grew louder and brighter until it shattered the chains of shadow. The golden light filled the tower, chasing away every trace of darkness. Morwenna screamed as her spells broke, vanishing into nothing but smoke. The bird flew free, circling around Ilara and Adrian, its song sweeter than ever before. And in that moment, both kingdoms were healed. The flowers bloomed, the rivers sparkled again, and the skies filled with morning light. Ilara looked at Adrian and smiled. "The golden bird brought us together for a reason." Adrian bowed and took her hand. "And together, we will keep its light safe forever." Soon after, the two kingdoms joined in celebration. Princess Ilara and Prince Adrian were crowned side by side, rulers not only of their lands but of their people's hearts. The golden bird remained by their side, singing songs of hope, peace, and everlasting love. And so, they lived happily ever after, united by courage, kindness, and the strongest magic of all, love and friendship. Once upon a time, in a shining golden castle, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Lila. She loved to play in the royal gardens, where bright flowers bloomed and butterflies danced. One sunny morning, Princess Lila sat by the sparkling fountain, holding her favorite golden ball. She tossed it high into the air, giggling. But plop! The ball slipped from her hands and fell into the deep fountain. "Oh no!" she cried. "My favorite ball is gone!" Just then, a little green frog hopped onto the fountain's edge. "Why are you sad, princess?" he asked politely. Princess Lila gasped. "You can talk!" the frog chuckled. "Yes, I can. And I can help you too. If I fetch your golden ball, will you promise to be my friend? Let me sit with you, eat with you, and share your company?" Princess Lila didn't really want a frog as a friend, but she was desperate. "Yes, I promise," she said. With a splash, the frog dove into the fountain and quickly popped back up with the golden ball. Lila clapped her hands in joy and ran back to the castle with her ball, forgetting her promise. That evening, as the princess dined in the grand hall, a soft knock, knock, knock echoed at the door. When the servants opened it, there was the frog. "Princess Lila," he croaked, "you promised to let me eat with you." Lila felt guilty but remembered her words. She gently placed the frog beside her plate. Though the king and queen were surprised, they reminded her, "A true princess always keeps her promises." The frog ate happily, then asked, "May I sleep on your pillow tonight, princess?" Lila hesitated but nodded. That night, she placed the frog carefully on her pillow. As she lay down, the frog whispered, "Thank you for being kind. Good night, princess." When the first rays of morning sunlight touched her cheeks, Princess Lila opened her eyes and gasped. The frog was gone. In his place stood a handsome prince, smiling warmly. He bowed and said, "I was under a wicked spell. Only the kindness of a true princess could break it. Because you kept your promise, I am free." Overjoyed, Princess Lila and Prince Adrian became the best of friends. Together, they laughed, explored magical lands, and shared many adventures. And so, the princess learned that kindness and keeping your word are the truest forms of magic. And they lived happily ever after.
Once upon a time, deep in the enchanted forest, there lived a tiny fairy named Flora, the fire fairy. Her wings sparkled like glowing embers, and her hair shone like golden flames. Unlike other fairies who controlled water, wind, or flowers, Flora had the power of fire. But the animals of the forest were afraid of her. They thought fire only destroyed things, so they kept their distance. This made Flora very sad. One winter, a great snowstorm covered the forest in ice. The animals shivered in their homes, and the little rabbits and birds could not find warmth. The flowers wilted, and even the rivers froze. Flora watched from afar and thought, maybe I can help, but what if they are too afraid of me? Still, her heart was kind and brave. She flew into the cold night and gently lit small fires from her glowing hands. She warmed the rabbit burrows, melted the ice near the river so the deer could drink, and created little sparks in the trees so the birds could sleep warmly. The animals peeked out in surprise. Instead of being dangerous, Flora's fire was soft, safe, and full of love. The rabbits bounced happily, the birds sang again, and the deer bowed their heads in gratitude. The whole forest gathered around Flora, and she spread her fiery wings, creating a giant bonfire of light and warmth in the snowy clearing. The snow sparkled, and the forest glowed like a lantern in the night. From that day on, the animals no longer feared the fire fairy. They understood that fire, when used with kindness, could bring life, warmth, and happiness. And so, Flora became the guardian of warmth, the fairy who kept the forest safe during the coldest winters.
Long ago, beyond the Silver Mountains, there was a hidden kingdom called Lunaria. It was a place of wonder, where glowing flowers lit the night, rivers sang with music, and fairies danced in the skies. In this kingdom lived a kind princess named Seraphina. She was unlike any other princess because she carried a gift: the ability to speak with fairies. Her best friend was Lyra, the crystal fairy, who sparkled like a star and carried magic dust that could heal anything. But one day, a dark sorcerer named Malvorn stole the crystal of light, the heart of Lunaria. Without it, the kingdom began to fade, the glowing flowers wilted, the music of the rivers went silent, and the fairies lost their power. Princess Seraphina, with her courage, set out on a quest to restore her land. Along the way, she met Prince Kale, a brave adventurer who could command the winds with his sword. Dot. He joined her, promising to help bring back the light. Together, they faced enchanted forests full of whispering trees, crossed bridges guarded by trolls, and solved riddles given by talking owls. Each step tested their kindness and bravery. At last, they reached Malvorn's shadowy fortress. The sorcerer laughed, swirling darkness around them. "You cannot defeat me. The crystal of light is mine." But Seraphina held out her hand to Lyra, the crystal fairy. With a burst of courage, Lyra sprinkled her shimmering dust, and Kale raised his sword, calling upon the power of the winds. Their magic combined with Seraphina's pure heart, forming a brilliant rainbow light that shattered Malvorn's darkness. The crystal of light returned to its place, glowing brighter than ever. Lunaria bloomed once again, the flowers sang, rivers sparkled, and the fairies danced freely in the skies. The people of Lunaria cheered, and Princess Seraphina was hailed as the bravest of all. She and Prince Kale became protectors of the kingdom, ensuring that kindness, courage, and friendship would always shine brighter than darkness. And from that day on, Lunaria remained the most magical kingdom in all the land.